All right. I
Are
am
we
here.
sure?
I mean, look, I'll double check while you do the intro.
All right. Hey guys, welcome to Three Guys and a Mic presents Half Hour Power. It's the best half hour of your week. Hey, look, we've been on a little bit of a hiatus here for Half Hour Power. Sorry about that. We've had a lot of content that we've been having to cover with House of the Dragon, Lord of the Rings coming up, Metalhead's Journey. So sorry about that. Unfortunately, Power Metal playlist. We're going to get back to that. But today we're here talking about a brand new release. This is an album that just came out, I think a week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago
I think
now.
it's been like two,
Uh,
2 to 3 weeks.
it's the album um, Survive from Stratovarius.
Yeah.
So,
Stratovarius
so
is
we
a
got,
band that I didn't really know much about up until, I guess, this year, really.
yeah, I
Um,
mean, we knew they were coming up on our top 30 list, and I think when we looked at power metal stuff in general, they're listed as one of the big four for
yes,
power metal, if I'm not mistaken, right?
correct.
So I think we knew that theoretically we should be in for some good music here, but holy shit. This album took me by complete surprise.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
I mean, we got to hear a couple of like early release singles, obviously, because they dropped a few songs like "Survive." I'm trying to remember. I know there's another song I think they
Firefly,
released.
I think, was a single as
Yeah.
well.
I mean, like
But
when we heard those, I was like, dude, these are great songs,
they're even better in the
but
context of the album, too. I've like
yeah,
enjoyed them more, but some of the I will tell you, like, dude, some of the songs on here are just like I have a top five. You have six. No, I'm sorry, I have six as well. But just because we only have six, the entire
there's
album,
no lowlights.
there is not a skipper. I
Nope.
don't skip this song when I don't skip a single song when I listen to this record.
Dude, it's like there are times when I listen. So I'll give you a prime example. When we listen to the new Blind Guardian record, okay? And for those of you checking this out, I assume you probably like power metal and you probably like Blind Guardian. If you haven't listened to that record, finish listening to this episode, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and then go back and listen to the Blind Guardian record. I think we fucked up by not going back and reviewing that record. Maybe it's not too late, but that album is fantastic.
It
But
is.
the first time I heard it, I wasn't like over the moon about it. Dave liked it pretty much instantaneously. It took me a couple of listens, and I finally
It clicks
got
for
it.
you.
Yeah, but I'm like that a lot of times. I feel like with albums, like I mean, unless it's Metallica and I'm licking the boot, right, or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, there's a lot of albums that like it takes me a while to really get into them, even if it's a Machine Head record or System of a Down record or something like that. Like it's not always on the first listen do I pick it up. Um, dude, this was a fucking killer from song number one.
You
There was
jammed it
nothing on it that
twice
took
on a
you to listen to this. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna save it. I'm gonna save it for the plane so that way I can have my headphones on and I can focus on it. And I jammed it twice through on this plane, and I embarrassed a man because I was over here, head banging on the plane because I couldn't help it.
yeah.
Shit was so good. So, well, let's get into a little bit of information here about the band and the album, and then we'll give scores and talk about some of the other good stuff here.
Okay, go
Uh,
ahead.
so, band is Stratovarius, album is Survive. Stratovarius formed in 1985 as a Finnish power metal band. We got a lot of bands from Finland popping up on here. That was also Nightwish, I believe, right?
Yes, I believe so.
A Finnish power metal band from Helsinki, Finland. In its history, the band has gone through many chaotic lineup changes. After founding guitarist Timo Tolkki's departure in 2008, there are no longer any founding members left in the band.
Interesting. I don't know if I've
Uh,
ever experienced a band like that. That's the case.
Yeah, I mean it's always. I mean at least like Black Sabbath always had Tony Iommi.
Yeah.
Like everybody else changed at some point, but and even like Leonard Skinner now, like you still have Gary Rosington today. He is still the last of like one of the 10 guys, but he's still there. So yeah, that is pretty unique. The longest standing member is singer Timo, Cotapelto, who joined the band in 1994. The band has released 16 studio albums, including their first album in 7 years, which is Survive. Survive, released in 2022, is the band's 16th studio album. The lineup for the band features Timo on vocals, Jens Johansson on keyboards, Lori Pora on bass.
Yeah.
So, what we're going to do now is we're going to give a rating to this album. And if you haven't followed along with us, we decided we needed our own proprietary rating system for things on the show, for movies, TV shows, music, all kinds of stuff like that. So we like to affectionately refer to things as shit on the pod here. So we decided to create the shitometer, okay? And the name of the game for the shitometer is you want the lowest score possible. You want to be a 0. Anything from 0 to 49, 0 to 50, that's something that we would recommend. Anything 50, 51 and above is varying levels of diarrhea, dog, gremlin, critter shit. Okay? So, again, lowest score possible is what you want. Dave, what's your shitometer score for this fucking classic album?
So I took a look at what I've rated other records to try. This one was difficult to rate because I wanted to try to be as accurate as possible here. And I look and saw what I gave Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 1, which is Halloween's classic album that they released back in the day. And
better than Part 2, for sure.
Yes. And I gave that record a 19. And kind of using that as a baseline, I decided this record is better than that record. By how much? That's debatable, but I went with a solid 17 here. I felt like it was better enough than that record. I think, and look, I'm sure there are Stratovarius fans out there listening to this and thinking like, wow, this band has so much better records than this new record that just came out. But like, look, this is only the second or like third Stratovarius record I've ever heard. So,
yeah, look, they got 16 records, guys. We're going to get there. Trust me. I think the motivation is high now for us to get through these other albums. So
I'm at a 17.
You said a 17. That's a good score. So I kind of did the same thing. I tried to go back and think about what was one of my favorite albums this year that I heard for the first time. And I went back to Images and Words from Dream Theater and just being blown away by the quality of that album. And I gave that album a 15. I loved it. That was a great album. And I think this album is better than that. One, because it's a little shorter, which is nice. But two, I mean, just the song power and everything about this album.
This album is more in your wheelhouse.
Yeah, for sure. So I went with a 14.
Yeah, you kind of did the same thing I did here.
Yeah. I was hoping you were going to come in and give it a 14. I thought you were leaning that way. I was going to be like, oh shit.
Yeah. I didn't quite go that high, but I mean, I think respectable. So we're at a 15.5. Round that up to a 16.
That's pretty good. So, look, if you, Dave, you want to give the tier explanation?
So, a 16 for us is considered like an A tier level record. It is, for an example of what an A tier record for us, and Justice for All is considered an A tier. Death Symbolic album is considered an A tier, and also Death Sound of Perseverance we gave an A tier. An S tier would probably be like Master of Puppets or Ride the Lightning, something to that effect. Rust in Peace, something to that effect. So an A tier is absolutely, I mean, this is regular rotation material. This is a band defining album.
I've already added the entire album to my lifelong playlist. Like, it's locked in. It's solid gold. All right. Yeah. So, being as this is half hour power, we do like to take and try to at least rank the top half of the songs on the album here. So there's 11 songs on the album. Normally we would go for only 5, but fuck it. This album is so good. We're going to go for 6 songs. And look, like we said earlier, to be fair, there's not a skippable song on this. If something is ranked 11, it's just because the other 10 songs are that much better. But Dave, do you want to go first?
I'll let you go first. I'm trying to pull something up real quick.
All right. Do you want me to slow down?
No, you may go. I am just, I should be ready to go by the time you're there here.
All right. For me, my number 6 song here is Before the Fall. And
that is on my list.
Look, there's going to be a common theme across all of these songs for me, and it's the fucking chorus. Dude, they do such a good job with all the choruses on this album. It is like candy. Like, it is just so tasty, every chorus on this album. And this one, you also get a lot of really good guitar riffs going out throughout the verses, which I really appreciated as well.
For my number 6, I had Demand.
Okay.
That song is excellent. Again, I mean, I don't want to repeat stuff so much, but we're going to say it a lot. I mean, I think the chorus, now we demand, we take a stand, like that, just that whole section, and just the riffs, the guitar, just the driving force behind the song is excellent. Yeah, I mean, Demand, it could have been higher, but it came in as my number 6.
Yeah. And I think this is another one of those moments where it's kind of like Megadeth a little bit, where because they've had a rotation of members, right, they continue to get new blood into the band. And it's not like they've rotated anybody new in like the last 10 years necessarily, but
yeah,
if it was still all the original members, you're probably not getting the style of guitar play or the style of the riff that's coming in the band right now.
I think the last 3 albums have been the same lineup now.
Yeah.
So they have some cohesion.
Yeah, they do. But this album is definitely the driving force of the music for the band. So, really good. For me, my number 5 song, if I'm guessing, Dave, I think you're going to have this higher. I'm going with Voice of Thunder.
I do have it much higher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll talk about it when I get there.
Yeah, Voice of Thunder. Look, it's the longest song on the album. Usually I shy away from those things, but I mean, this song is so good. Great acoustic intro.
Oh, the intro is so
like
good.
Soft, clean vocals, and then it transitions into what is probably the heaviest riff on the album.
Yes.
Again, great chorus. I think this song is probably the best song musically on the album.
Yeah.
I think it's the most impressive song musically for me.
Yeah. It's a great song. Number 5 for me is Before the Fall. So I was not far off from you. This is probably the fastest song on the record. I think it's got a very thrash kind of main beat and rhythm. And that's kind of where it shines for me. And again, I love the chorus. I could wear a T-shirt that says Stratovarius, I love the chorus, and that would work. That's what
I literally typed it in every one of my notes.
Yeah. Before the Fall, excellent, quick, fast song. To your point, Josh, this band, at least on this album, they don't mill around with long songs very much. They usually will have 1 or 2 long songs on the record, but every other song is very tight.
Yeah.
And I love Before the Fall.
4 or 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, the title track, Survive.
It's also my number 4.
There we go.
Yeah.
Dude, great opening riff.
Yeah.
Another really heavy song on the album.
Yeah.
And this is one that, like, I love the message of the song. Only the strong will survive.
Yeah.
I just, and it's all about perseverance, and I really like the song.
The opening riff, like the opening 30, 40 seconds of the song, is so good. It almost fooled our friend Adrian into liking this band.
Did it?
Yeah, he's like, okay, all right, here we go. And then he said the singing came in and completely ruined it for him because he's dumb.
Yeah.
But
so I heard this song first, because when we had discovered that they had released some new music, we started going through it, and I'd heard this song first, and I instantly texted you. I was like, dude, Survive, come on.
Yeah.
Like, you got to get there.
Yeah, it's
And you're
good.
like, no, I'm listening to this other song. I'm like, stop. Stop listening to the other song and go to this one.
Oh, it's excellent. Great chorus, great riff, great guitar solo. I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
What's your number 3?
Number 3 for me is Glory Days.
That's on my list as well.
All right. Just, an awesome intro riff for this song. First time I heard the riff, I was like, that might be the best riff on the album.
Yeah.
And I love the vocal melody for this one, not for the chorus. This is probably not one of their better choruses on the album, but it's the pre-chorus that's leading into that. That is super catchy, and then the little riff they have going with it, like where they go back and forth with the riff. Mm-hmm. Fuck, man, so good.
Yep. My number 3 is Voice of Thunder. Again, Josh kind of said it all on that. Great opening part of the song, soft to enter in, and then the song basically takes you through everything that Stratovarius does well on this record. Great choruses, great verses, fantastic bridge section, and
if I remember correctly, the drums really stand out on this song as well.
Yeah, I mean, look, it takes balls to end the record on an 11-minute track. Because that most people might just say, I'm done. But you'd be missing a great song. So, and I think putting it last, actually, from a track listing standpoint, is probably the smartest thing you can do. Because if this was sitting like in the middle of the record, if it was like the 4th or 5th track, you might be tempted to skip it. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
Because you might just be like, I don't have time for this, and you just skip it. But it's a great track.
But if you listen to the rest of the record, then you're already in.
Yeah.
That's probably a good call. Number 2 for me, I've got Frozen in Time.
Didn't make my list, although it was my number 7.
Okay. Look, again, love the chorus. For me, I mean, obviously the chorus is huge for this song, but one of the other things that really, really kind of sold in with it, that is just, I mean, chef's kiss. So good.
Yeah, I thought that was a really good song. I listened to that song because that song released early, and we heard it, and it's really, really good. So I am surprised that song was that high for you. I wouldn't have picked that song because it's one of the longer songs. But it is a very, very good song.
I put the 2 longest songs on the album on my list, Dave.
Yeah.
For you.
Look, I already know what your number 1 is. I can just feel it. And I almost want to skip my number 2 because I think it's your number 1. So I'm going to do you that favor, and I'm just going to go straight into my number 1. I'm going to take a leap of faith here. My number 1 is Glory Days.
Okay.
I thought that's the best song on the record. The main riff is phenomenal. All the riffs in the song, and you're right, Josh. Like the pre-chorus riff that kind of goes along with the vocals, it just is a money moment in the song. And I think the chorus is totally fine. Like I like the chorus; it's good. And just overall, like this song does it all for me. Like I just love the instrumentation. The keyboardist really nails this song and really like accentuates it. Josh, why don't you go ahead and talk about Firefly?
Oh, dude, you shouldn't have skipped your number 2 song.
Oh, you didn't have it?
It's not even on my list.
Damn it. Okay, well, Firefly was my number 2.
Go ahead and talk about it.
Shit. All right, sorry. I took a chance, man. I thought for sure you'd have Firefly on your number 2. So Firefly, it was one of the lead singles on the record.
And look, it's my number 7. It's a great song.
Okay. Dude, the chorus, this might be the best chorus on the album. Or at least the catchiest, in my opinion.
It's definitely not. The number 1 song is for me, but go ahead.
All right. Well, now I feel like you're just wrong, and you just picked something that was you probably picked the worst song on the album. I'm just kidding. No, I just love the Burn the Night. I'm chasing the Firefly. Like, dude, that shit is so good. I love the song. This song is like like the definition of a power metal single, and I love every second of it.
I agree with that. But I think the most power metal song on this album, undeniably, is "The World Is on Fire."
Oh, okay. All right. I see that,
Bro. Dude, the chorus on this album is so damn catchy. The progression, like the vocal melody and the progression, is so good. Musically, look, I'm not saying it's like the best song on the album. For me, this is all about the chorus and the vocal melody. It's a shorter song. You get to spend a lot of time with that vocal melody. Like they go back to it a lot in the song. But dude, I can't get that shit out of my head. I'm walking around the store during the day, and it's like I just have that playing in my head nonstop.
World is on fire. Yeah, how it opens is so good.
So I think "World on Fire" is the best song on the album for me.
Yeah, dude. Look, let us know in the comments what Stratovarius albums are your favorites that we should listen to first, because like they have 16 records. I could Google it online, but I'm more interested to hear about what our audience wants us to listen to. What are some like just like your top 3 Stratovarius records that we should deep dive into. I'm curious to know.
Yeah. I mean, look, we're gonna have some other albums. I think we have at least 2 albums coming up on the top 30 power metal list. So we're definitely gonna be spending some more time with Stratovarius. But I want to deep dive. I mean, I already went through and kind of jumped around a bunch of albums today, and we checked out a couple other songs, and there's some good shit out there. So I'm excited to go through the rest of the catalog for sure.
Absolutely, man. I can't wait.
So hey, hopefully you like this content. If you did, give us a like, give us a subscribe. We're going to be trying to get back on rhythm here with some of our metal content. So we may just alternate. Maybe every other week it's a half-hour power. Then maybe the week after that it's a Metal Monday. We'll see. We'll see how it falls. But we're going to be bringing back some of the metal content here. We'll see you next week for House of the Dragon and maybe a Metal Monday. We'll see.
All right.
Live long and prosper.
Take it easy, everybody.